Hello and welcome to Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC, a weekly podcast and YouTube channel discussing everything Wrexham from the point of view of long-term fans and brand new fans like my wife. So sit back, put your feet up, relax and let's get stuck in. Hello and welcome to episode 35 of Me, the Wife and Wrexham AFC. Been a big week for games. I would say one of the biggest weeks we've had.
It's been a bit cold as well.
It has been freezing cold, yeah. But we haven't got a game now for a week, so we will focus on the week
Good or
gone
bad?
by. I would say it's good.
Too rested or
Ooh,
not rested enough?
there's an argument for both in there.
No, yeah, that's why
I think that they've probably got quite used to playing 2 games a week. Now they're going back to it, but you know, they're well rested. I don't think that's a bad thing. More time to work on the training ground. I think that's probably a good thing, isn't it?
Yeah, just fingers crossed. There's no more bloody snow.
Yeah, that's true. There might be. Who
yeah.
knows? So we had Dagenham on Tuesday.
It's a great game.
It was. So we had Leighton, JJ, Owen O'Connell, Ollie Palmer all back into the team.
Yep.
Which shows again our strength in depth. No Luke Young.
I was very sad about that.
You were, weren't you?
I was sad about it.
What was your initial reaction when you heard he wasn't playing?
Oh my God, what's he done? What's he injured? But somebody actually tweeted.
Yeah.
I was going to say twittered then.
Yeah.
Tweeted.
Yeah.
I think it was a mum of a young lad or young girl,
Yeah.
basically saying that they were worried about Luke Young and wanted to know whether he was injured. And he actually replied saying that he was all good.
Oh,
So
did
he's
he?
not injured.
Oh, fair play.
So it's possible that Parky is just resting him.
Yeah.
Because literally, apart from the FA Trophy game, I think he's literally played every single game.
Chesterfield.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
course,
Chesterfield.
yeah.
I think that's what worried me is I don't mind. I don't think anybody in that team, but barring one or two maybe, are completely indispensable. I think, you can swap. We've got really good strength in depth.
Yeah.
Although Luke Young, I feel sometimes is on the cusp of being irreplaceable. Do you know what I mean? The energy that he sort of brings. The game before that, he didn't have the best game. You give the ball away quite a bit. So I don't mind a bit of rotation as long as the people who are coming in are fully up to speed and ready to go. The one thing that did worry me was that the only game he had missed prior to that league game was Chesterfield. And to be honest, we got mauled a little bit at Chesterfield.
Yeah.
So
that says a lot about Luke Young, to be fair.
Yeah, so that worried me a bit because I thought, oh God, that's the only one that he has missed in the league, and we did not perform.
What was the reason for him missing that?
I don't know. Maybe that was a little bit
Same
of rotation
thing.
again.
Yeah,
I don't know.
maybe.
It never came out that he was injured.
No.
So they lost. We identified Marias or however you want to say his name from Dagenham as their sort of danger man.
Yep.
He was in the team. National League TV, it got shown that he was there in the team, and he got injured in the warm-up, didn't he?
Yeah.
So that
doesn't
was
bode well if you get injured in the warm-up.
Well, it's never nice for a player, I don't think, to get injured in the warm-up. You're all set up to play, and you sort of pull something or tweak something. And I think that was sort of benefited us, really. You know, they're danger man, and you know they lost him. Do you think that probably has a negative impact on the team when something like that happens?
Well, yes,
Yeah.
if you haven't got strength and depth,
Yeah.
like we do. If he, I'm not sure who replaced him.
It was a guy called, I think it was Jay Bird, his name was.
Oh yeah, I heard his name quite a lot
Yeah.
actually before. So yeah, I think if you've got what we've got, and we've got, if Palmer gets injured,
Yeah.
God hope he doesn't.
Yeah.
But if Palmer gets injured, then we've got Dalby in for him, and he is, just as good and a great player. But I think if
he's your one man, sort of thing.
Yeah, which
I get
it
what
kind
you're
of
saying.
seemed to be.
Yeah.
When we were looking at their stats and stuff last season, their last few games of last season.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what do you think would happen to our team if Mullin went down in the warm up?
I think.
See, you've got a different point of view now, haven't you? Because obviously, you mentioned Ollie. Say Ollie got injured, and you said, "Oh, God forbid he doesn't." But Mullin scored like 30 goals this season. If he is the one that goes down, He would be sort of like your counterpart, sort of like,
Yeah.
he's like your Marias from Dagenham,
Yeah.
isn't he? If he went down, yes.
Would Dalby replace him?
I'm assuming so, yes.
Well, yeah, if that's the case, if Dalby's replacing him, I think I'd be okay because I know that Dalby is a good player.
And I think we probably know we get goals all over the pitch as well.
Yeah.
Mullin hasn't, Mullin doesn't score all the time.
No, he doesn't.
Do you know what I mean?
No.
It's not like we don't get goals from anywhere else. Whereas maybe, a talisman for someone like Dagenham, he goes down. Maybe that's a bit of a, maybe that it was an explanation as to their performance a little bit. They thought, oh my God, we've lost the person who scores all our goals.
Yeah, but surely that should give the other players mentality like, right, okay, yes, we've lost our one of our best players, but
you're going to call him great then, weren't you?
I was, but I don't know how great he is. I've never heard of him. But shouldn't that give the other players that sort of mentality to be like, right, okay, yeah, we have lost him, but this gives me a chance to show, what I can do.
Maybe we're just surmising.
Who cares? We won.
Yeah, no. So a really fast start, wasn't it? We look good. Palmer scored after 6 minutes, and there was me moaning as to why don't they start this fast when we play Chesterfield. What did I say? Out the traps like a whippet.
Yep.
And I said, why don't we play like this against everyone?
And we did.
And then we go to Dagenham and we carried that same sort of spirit on. Started really good. Started fast. Scored after 6 minutes. You enjoyed the goal. I think you did a little scream. You did do a little scream.
Yeah, I did because Alfie was upstairs.
Yeah.
And he messaged. I think he messaged you because he's so lazy.
Yeah.
He messaged you and said, "I think I just heard a mummy scream."
Yeah. Definitely. So it was a good start. It was a nice goal.
And I said to you, I said during half time, I was going to say half term then. During half time, I said to you, Palmer needs to come on. And he needs to do exactly the same as what he did in the first half. And what did he do?
He did it again. I mean, you jumped straight to the second half, but he did.
I just wanted to bring that up.
Yes. You did, to be fair.
Yeah, sorry.
And I think he came back into the team. Obviously, Dalby's had a little bit of a run in the team. He came back, and I think it was important for him to remind everyone why he is still important to this team. Because I think a lot of people have been sort of questioning a few things about even us, is he still going to be here next season? Are they easing Dalby in as his more long-term replacement? And all them sort of things. And it's not just us who were sort of asking these questions. A lot of people were asking these questions. Which
it still could be true.
It could be, but I think it was important for Ollie to come in and go, I am still here, you know, and he put in a really good performance, I think.
He did. And they were like, they just continued, like, because obviously we've talked before, about them kind of getting
their foot off
exactly.
The pedal.
But I said to you, do you know what? They didn't. They literally played from the moment the whistle went to the moment the whistle went at the end of the game.
Yeah, they're definitely. And I think it was important to do that, to go, because again, that's been whispers that have gone about, not just whispers, people talking that we can't seem to see it through all the way to the end. Now, don't get me wrong, Dagenham had some chances. And they looked a decent team. They definitely had a few shots. They had a few shots at goal. A lot of them were straight at Leighton, but they did have they did have a couple of chances that I think maybe a little bit more composure, they might have caused us a little bit of problems, although they didn't. I tell you one thing that made me laugh, right? It was possibly the most non-league football thing that I've seen this season.
What?
And it was in the first half. The ball was out on the left side, and Tozer was going to take one of his long throws, right? And he had to negotiate a pram.
Oh, yeah.
He had to negotiate a pram to get the throw in. He walked to where he wanted to go, and there was just a pram there. And he had to walk around the pram and go, well, I'm going to have to run up from a slightly different angle here because there's a pram in the way. And I was like, this is non-league football, this, isn't it? A pram in the way of someone taking over. The only thing that would have been more non-league football is if he hadn't noticed it and tripped over it when he was going to take the throw.
Well, there was a baby in it.
Oh, there was a baby in it. Yeah, no. Can you imagine? Gives the baby a lollipop, takes his throw in.
Yeah.
No, it was
funny.
It just made me laugh. So, a few of the bits from the first half. So JJ at the post.
Yeah.
We thought that was in, didn't we?
Oh my God. I think I kind of like jumped.
Yeah.
And I went, oh.
Because it sort of, the keeper should have stopped it, didn't, squirmed out of his sort of grasp, hit the post, and it went to shoot across, and we're like, oh, it is in. And it was like, oh, it's in. No, it's not in. Oh, it's in. Oh, no, it's not. And it was really unlucky, really, because I think it was important for him to play well as well.
Yeah, he always plays well, though, I think.
Well, we'll talk about him in a bit. But I thought, again, he's another one who's found himself in the team.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden, he's found himself on the fringes of that team when Parky's gone, okay, you're not in my starting 11 on a regular basis. And I think it's important for people like JJ to come in and go, right, again,
I'm here again.
I'm still here.
Yeah.
And I think do you think everyone seems hungry at the moment to be in that team?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of, obviously we will go on to the Southend game, but yesterday when we won.
Yeah.
Basically all of the players were just like that to the fans, and it was like you could see like they were so happy that they had a good game in Dagenham, and then we had obviously
whatever it was.
We'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, I do think they are now. It's like getting near the end of the season. I mean, like we've got 9 games left, is it?
Yes.
I think they are. I mean, I think they've always been hungry for it.
Yeah.
But I think now you can see it on their faces. Even the newbies that have come in.
Yeah. What were you saying the players were like at the end of the Southend game?
I don't know.
You went.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, sorry for anyone listening to a podcast. Shan is now doing visual things. So anyone listening, they're going, whatever that means, whatever that sounds like on a podcast.
That just sounds a bit weird.
Sounds like you're having a poo, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm not.
So another player I wanted to pull out from the Dagenham game was Andy Cannon.
Yes.
I felt personally that he completely controlled that first half. I think everything went through him. Literally everything was, and I don't think it was in the first half. It was towards the end of the first half, I think. And one of the commentators go, ball into Cannon, ball forward from Cannon. And he goes,
I'm sick of saying it.
I'm sick of saying it.
Yeah.
How many times have you heard me say his name? And I think he must have, I don't have access to stats. I could do my own, but it'd be very boring. But how many touches he must have had in the first half? Because
you need one of those clicker things.
Yeah, I know, yeah. We need 11 of them though, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you'd lose track.
So I think everything went through him. I thought he was excellent in that first half.
Did he play the full 90 minutes?
I don't know. He seems to. I don't think he did. I think he struggles to get through a full 90. So I'm not sure his fitness is when he's there and he's on for the first sort of 70. I think he's fine.
Spot on, yeah.
But I think his fitness maybe isn't quite where it should be. And he maybe can't make it all the way to the end of a game.
Which is sad, really, because he does play, yeah.
Yeah. So we got another one before half time, sort of just before half time, didn't we? So a Tunnicliffe header. Oh, yes. The Terminator.
The Beast.
So good corner in. I think it was Elliot Lee who took the corner, maybe.
I think it was.
Yeah. And really good header. But where do you fall as like a new fan and new to football and all that? People always say, "Oh, it's important, get a goal just before half time." What's your mentality of, when you'd like to score goals? Do you think it's important to get one just before half time?
I do. I think it's important to get a few goals in the first half, because then, but that could be dangerous as well, because the other team they've scored 2, 3, whatever they've scored in the first half, and then they potentially could come out and we're like, right, okay, we're not conceding any more goals.
Yeah.
But I think, I do think it's important, because I think it gives that that boost to their morale and
I think the reason a lot of people say it's important to score just before half time is, especially if you're 1-0 up at the time, a team will be going, right, let's get in at 1-0. let's regroup, let's hear what the manager's got to say, and then let's push on the second half. And they've got that mentality. And then if you score just before half time, it deflates then. And everyone's going, okay, this isn't the same team talk we're going to get than if it was just 1-0 and we are creating chances. So I think that's why it's important just to deflate them before half time. Then you go in and then, you know, maybe they're getting a bit more of a shouting out than they were at sort of 1-0 down, really. So I think it's massively important to get, but it was a good header. Good little twisty header that he did, and
I mean, he's a beast. He just is a beast.
He is absolutely. I wasn't sure about him at first, but I can't imagine anyone else being in that back three now. I really can't. Yeah. I can't see anyone taking that place off him. Best possible start to the second half, as you said.
Yes.
Ollie scored within 5 minutes again.
Pretty much, yeah.
And I think that, again, was really important for us because I think Wrexham teams of old going in, not necessarily of old, maybe on occasions this season as well. You know, you could have seen going in 2-0 up and then them coming out going, right, okay, it's a bit of a free hit now. Let's go out and play.
Yeah.
Them getting the next goal. And then all of a sudden you're in this nervy situation where we're a bit deflated, but they are elevated, inflated as it were. And then, you know, you're at 2-1 and you're thinking, are we holding on here now? So it was really important to get that third goal. It was a really good goal as well. I think for Dagenham, after about an hour, that is the point when I realised that they'd given up. Both manager and players. Yeah, because I would say their best player on the night was a player called Balanta.
Yeah.
So I think his name's Angelo Balanta. I'm not maybe yeah. So he was their best player.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a really good touch. He controlled everything that he had, and he tried to be progressive and move them forward. He was easily their best player on the night, easily. And then on the hour mark, they subbed him. And they didn't sub him because he was injured. They didn't sub him because he wasn't playing well, because he was easily their best player.
Yeah.
They subbed him because they went, right, okay, this game's done. So let's save him for the next game and let's move.
Such a stupid mentality to have, though.
Yeah, but you've got to bear in mind, you know, the manager's made a call there where he's gone, because Dagenham could still push for playoffs. They could. They're in that sort of zone, in that area of the league where, you know, a few good results and they're in the playoffs. What do you want one of your best players? Where do you want to push some of your best players? Do you want to push them and say, right, let's keep going at 3-0 down against the team that are top?
Yeah.
Or let's give you a little bit of a rest and let's push on with other games that we, you know, that are starting at 0-0 and we have got a good chance of pushing on and going.
Yeah, I suppose.
So that's the point really where they sort of, you know, they went like, let's rest him and avoid any injuries and make sure he's fit moving forward. But they gived up.
Gived up?
God.
They gived up.
They gived up.
Wow.
As if I said that.
They gived up, everybody.
Oh, never mind. But the Wrexham players looks like they enjoyed it, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did.
I'm not going to hear the end of that now, am I? They gived up.
Oh, don't give up, Ryan.
For me, I'm just going to ignore that. I'm going to move on. For me, you play like that.
Yes.
For the every game for the rest of the season.
We win the season.
You win the league.
Yeah.
You win the league for me. You win the league for me. I don't think we drop a point playing like that. Personally.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think you drop a point playing the way we did at Dagenham.
Yeah.
Not even Notts County.
It was just such
not
a
way to. I just don't think. Everyone looked like they were having fun and they were enjoying it. Doesn't matter how you do as long as you have fun. I don't mean it like that.
What's that hand movement you just did then?
So Mendy scored late on.
He did. Oh yes.
Yeah. Oh yes.
That was a good goal as well.
It was. It was a great through ball from Lee.
Yep.
JJ at the post again.
Yeah, bless him.
I know. Yeah, he could have had two on another day, couldn't he?
Posty Pat.
Posty Pat.
Posty Pat.
Okay. Were you surprised by Dagenham's performance?
Do you know what I was?
Yeah.
I was, because everybody, like, before was like, oh my God, this, I mean, I know.
I was.
Yeah. Well, we did like our thing, didn't we? We were like, oh, you know, our little score predictions at the beginning of the game. We were like, oh, are you nervous? And we were like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, so am I. But it's like, and I think I even put it on our socials, like, you know, we are quite nervous. And everyone was like afterwards going, oh, we nervous? Well, we didn't need to be nervous.
I think it was all relevant because we haven't won there for years. You know, we went there last season.
Maybe that's why we played so well, because we haven't won there.
Maybe, but we went there last season with a chance of winning the league, and we crumbled and lost 3-0. You know, the season before, we know it was a chance for us to go into the playoffs if we won the game, and we drew 1-1 there. You know, we didn't have the players that we've got now, though. No, we didn't. No, but last season we did.
No, well, we didn't have. No, we didn't have everybody.
No, I'm not saying we had everybody, but we had the basis of the squad we had now last season. And, you know, I think it's a tough place to go. And I was very surprised that it wasn't, I'm not saying it was easy. I'm not belittling the performance. They had to put the effort in and the work in to get.
They had to put the effort in to lose. Yeah.
No, but, you know, we had to put that effort in, and we had to really work at it. And it had to be a good performance. But I wasn't expecting to win 4-0. No. Otherwise, I'd have said 4-0 in the prediction. You know, I was more.
We were expecting them to score at least one goal, I think. But...
one thing I wanted to touch on, we have touched on it, but I wanted to ask you. The midfield, without Luke Young, personally, I think that was the best. One of the best I've seen the midfield perform this season. I thought we were excellent, controlled the game. Really good. But we didn't have the captain in there. So what does that say to you for the rest of the season? It's an awkward question because we've got rotation, but what's our best midfield? Does our best midfield include Luke Young? Is my question. I know it's one game. Before anybody says it, I know that's only one game, but does our best midfield include Luke Young?
I don't know.
Loads of people are going to say, of course it does. But some people are going to be in the same sort of, you know, a lot of people are going to be going, I'm not sure it does. You know, so.
I think he's integral to the team. So can he not play another position? Can he not just join in?
It's an awkward question, and
I don't want to answer it because I really like Luke Young, and I think he's such a hard-working player.
I do, and so does a lot of other people. You know, most people. I don't think you're going to have a lot of people who dislike Luke Young.
No.
And I don't have an answer. I think it's such a nice position to be in, to go, we have got so many good players now that we are even having this. We're even asking the question: Does our captain get in the team? You know, because that's how good our squad is now.
See, that's what I find really bizarre. Like, as a new fan, I find it bizarre. You know, when I used to watch games, like, you know, with half whatever, watching them years ago.
Yeah.
I used to think, you know, if the captain was subbed, it's like, I thought the captain played every single game, and that's why he's the captain.
They do, really, in general, but that's sort of why they have a captain and a club captain now.
I don't think, sorry to interrupt you, but I don't think, like, when Luke Young is on that pitch, he is very much like, come on lads, let's do this. You know, he's very encouraging. But I think Tozer, as much as I like Tozer, I think he's a bit more of an angry man. He's very much like, I'm not saying he doesn't encourage the lads, but I just think Luke Young is so much more motivating. And do you know what I mean?
You can't say that though.
Yes, I can.
Because
I just did.
Because you don't know what motivates people. Tozer's a general, and he was at the back, and look, we'll talk about Tozer another time, but he's a general, but you don't know. I think he very much knows what it needs for each individual person. Some people need kicking. Some people need an arm.
He shouted at Mendy at one point. I could hear him shouting at Mendy.
But maybe that's what Mendy needs. Yeah. Mendy went on and scored in that game, and he played very well. So it's different people need different things.
I think it's from my perspective, I don't like being shouted at.
No, I know, but you'd be one of them players who would have an arm round you as opposed to being shouted at.
Yeah.
Because somebody who gets shouted at that just shrivels and doesn't play, then it's pointless to keep shouting at them. They're the sort of player that you need to put an arm round. And I think
mollycoddle.
Yeah, you would very much be a mollycoddled player.
I would, yeah.
Come on, it's all right. You're playing well. Come on, let's up it. That's what you need.
I like praise. What can I
say? Yeah. So I don't know. We've gone off topic a little bit. We were talking about Luke Young, but I don't know the answer to the question. We'll move on to Southend. No, we won't. Man of the match for Tuesday for you?
Is it Mullen?
No, I'm not asking who it was. I'm asking who your man of the match was.
Andy Cannon.
100%. 100% for me. I thought it was Cannon all day long.
Yeah. I did. I was thinking he played really, really well.
You stole my thunder a bit then, because I was ready to disagree with you and go, no, it was Andy Cannon. And you went, Andy Cannon. I went, oh, okay.
Yeah, no, Andy Cannon all day long. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, definitely.
So anyway, moving on to the Southend game. And we're
poles apart from the Dagenham Redbridge game, I have to say.
But I think the Luke Young theme runs through, doesn't it? Because he wasn't in the a lot of people called for the same midfield.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Now, we got the same midfield. So, I'm
no changes at all, was there?
I'm not saying Parky listened, but, a lot of people wanted the same midfield. They got the same midfield. No Luke Young again. No Luke Young on the bench.
But he's okay.
But he's okay. I very much think that was probably more of a game for Luke Young than maybe Tuesday night was.
Yep.
Tuesday night was an opportunity to have a few, players who were, good on the ball.
Yeah.
Don't necessarily need to get as stuck in as much, although JJ who does like doing that.
Yeah.
And I think that was a good opportunity to rest Luke and to start with that midfield. Southend, I just sort of feel Luke's very much a player who doesn't mind getting dirty. For me, he gets, he'll get stuck in. He'll get,
the yellow cards that he's accumulated over
the season. Exactly. And I
agree with you on that.
But I felt that Saturday was probably, although people were sort of calling for the same midfield, the conditions, etc., I think called for Luke Young to be there.
They were horrible, disgusting conditions.
They were
on Saturday. It was
so
horrible.
There was a lot of people shoveling snow off the pitch.
There was, yes,
which made it very muddy, very wet. It wasn't. It was horrible conditions.
No, to be fair, I think they were shoveling it off the frost cover.
They were, but a lot of the the pitch was wet. It was soaking wet. It was raining. It was very boggy. But that's the sort of game that I'd sort of fancy someone like JJ being in the team, and fancy someone like Luke Young being in the team, because it's that sort of dirty Sunday league sort of feel to it, where you just need them more aggressive players. I think
I say to you that I might have said it to my dad, but I can't remember anyway. I said I don't think. Oh no, I said not Luke Young, Elliot Lee. I'll get it out in a minute.
Yeah.
Elliot Lee seems to be dirty, completely dirty.
Yeah, you did say
even
it to
like
me,
was it you? Even like with just in the first 10 minutes of the game, he's he's on the floor doing whatever because he's just constantly going for that ball.
Yeah, he is, and I think his defensive work has surprised me over the certainly since Christmas. He's very much the flair player, and he's very much playing. He could play at a level a lot higher than the National League, as a lot of players in the team could.
All our players.
There's a lot of players who could. Elliot Lee is, far and away. He's one of them that, technically speaking, he's an amazing sort of player. But his defensive work has massively surprised me since Christmas. He gets stuck in more. He's running so much. And, I'd love to see his stats of how far he's running because his closing down's really good. Everything about, is really good. But it was Parky's 100th game in charge.
Do you know what? I was literally about to say that.
Was it?
Yeah, because you didn't even know that.
I didn't know that.
No, you didn't. You didn't know that until I did a post on Twitter and they mentioned it in the game.
I didn't even know it when you did the post on Twitter. I knew it from the game. And you went, I put that on Twitter, and I went, oh,
That just proves that Ryan doesn't do any of our social media.
I know, it's Parky's 100th game. And you're like, yeah, no.
Yeah. Look at our Twitter. Yeah, it was. 100th game.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, really good, yeah. So he'd won 65 as manager.
Yep.
He's drawn 21.
Yep.
And he has only lost 14.
That's pretty impressive.
I would suggest, with absolutely nothing to back this up or any research at all, I would suggest that a 65% win rate for a manager is right up there with the best. I would say so. I mean, if you look at sort of like a Pep Guardiola, a Jurgen Klopp, not this season, obviously, but, you know, when Liverpool were good, you know, I'd say, you know, people like that, I'd say a 65% win rate is probably winning you the league. It's probably winning you the Premier League.
What's the highest league that he's managed for?
Oh, God.
Good question.
He's been at Sunderland. He's been at Bolton. Has he been in he was at Bradford. He's been at champion. I think he's been in the Championship.
So he's a good, But the thing, do you know what annoys me?
Maybe League One.
Yeah. Do you know what annoys me? Is the
most
fact,
things, but go on.
But about football.
Yeah.
Not about life.
Yeah.
Because I could be here all day.
Yeah.
But the fact is that everybody was like, get Parky out, he's rubbish, da-da-da.
Yeah.
And now everyone's going, oh, well done, Parky, 100 games, you've won a 65, da-da-da. It's like, oh my God, just
I think it was...
Make your mind up whether you like him or not.
Yeah, I think... that's football for you, though, isn't it? I think, you know...
Sorry, there's like a fly flying around you, and it's really...
I stink, that's why. There's probably more than one of them. No, you know, like I say, that's very much football. It's very much in the moment, isn't it?
I'm determined to change football.
You're not going to change
to this
football.
Airy fairy, lovely. No, everyone loves each other.
No one's. It's not like that. It's all about how you're performing at that moment. So if we lose the next 4 and play really poorly, that 65% win rate goes out the window, and they're calling for his head on a stick. That's just how
it's all Parky's fault that we lost the league. And
It depends, I would say, how you're playing. You know, it's not just... We've had periods in his early tenure where we're not only not getting the results, we weren't playing well either. And the performance, they were relating back to the tactics, and the tactics come from the manager. Okay. We had you're not wrong. We had a new formation when Parky come in. A lot of people didn't like it. It's not working. That's what, you know, people were saying. And football, people don't learn in football that Watford's a classic example. Watford in the last 5, 6, 7 years have probably had about 400 managers. It's ridiculous. Yeah. One comes in, he's not doing well, they get rid of him. The best managers out there probably don't always have the best starts at clubs. You know, they move into a new place. They've got to get used to the new...
themselves in as well,
exactly. They're trying to impose their tactics and their philosophy of playing on a brand new group of players.
And fans as well.
And it takes time. And people have to understand that managers that are given time usually come out the other end with a very good team that can perform. But a lot of clubs don't have the patience to do that. And I'm so glad that we have had the patience and we have allowed him to, you know, put his stamp on this team, get who he wants in, give him the time to do it, and then we are where we are.
So when we get to League 2,
yes,
will Parky take us to League 1?
I think so. I think all you've got to do is look at Stockport at the moment. So Stockport are very much knocking on the door of automatic promotion from League 2. Yeah. They're comfortably in the playoffs, but they're very much pushing for an automatic promotion there. So I think, you know, you've got to think we could follow that same sort of that same sort of footprint in the snow. It's like that. I think so, 100%. But it was just, it was Saturday was one of them horrible, disgusting games.
It's the worst weather.
Yeah,
I have been to a game in.
It's not always sunny in Wrexham.
It's not. Stop stealing my line. The weather was disgusting. It was raining. It was cold. It was just horrendous. And we were wrapped up.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I saw on Paul Mullen's Twitter. He put that. What did he say? 3 points in pneumonia. He said.
Yeah.
It was very cold.
It was a club record 25th game unbeaten, which record, which is really good. Last game we lost in the league was Notts County, I think. Away.
I think that's what we've
last one we lost, so that's a club record. So we just need to keep that rolling on. That'd be really nice to keep that going. We had a gift from the not us personally, the club had a gift from the Southend supporters.
So nice.
It was lovely. It was like a blue hand and a red hand come together, and I think it said Southend and Wrexham United. And
that's what football's all about.
It is, and that's off the back of they've had a lot of financial difficulties, and a lot of people stepped in and made contributed to their GoFundMe page to help pay staff and all that sort of stuff. And a lot of fans from a lot of clubs did that, but they'd recognised that it was predominantly Wrexham fans that had give a lot of money because we've been in the same position. We've been here before and we've nearly gone out of business. So, we donated something. We know a lot of people who donated money as well, just to try and keep them going. Fingers crossed, they're coming out the other side of that now. So they've paid their staff, they've paid their tax bill.
Have they paid their staff? Because we weren't sure about
staff that. They have, but I'm not 100% sure about players, whether they're getting their...
Are they not classed as staff then, no?
Well, I suppose they are really, but I'm not sure the players have had...
Their fans were amazing, to be fair. They sang pretty much the whole 90 minutes.
They did. They were great. They were really good. And to be fair, there was no fluidity in the game. It was a very stop-start. The long diagonal balls that we were playing they weren't working because as soon as they hit the ground, they were skidding off.
Stopping.
No, the long diagonal balls were hitting the ground, they were skidding off and they were going too far. Any sort of slightly medium to long ball was doing the same thing and it was going out for a goal kick. All the sort of short passes were getting a bit rolled around in the mud and they weren't quite there, and it was so hard for either team to get any sort of momentum in the game, and it was just one of them horrible, disgusting games, really.
Do you know what made me laugh? Well, it didn't make me laugh, but it did, because when not Tunnicliffe getting injured, obviously, because that's
the Terminator. I said it won't matter. He's got metal underneath, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he went down. And then obviously he had to go off quickly because I think he was going to get stitches.
Probably.
And then I don't know what I was doing, but then Leighton was down. I was like, oh my god. And I think it was you and your dad, and you both went, it's just tactics.
It's fine.
It's just tactics. It's fine. But I think at Leighton actually, I'm not sure where I've seen it, but I'm sure Leighton kind of put his thumb up to the Mould Road stand.
He smiled over it. So basically what he did, he went down injured. For anybody that doesn't get the rule, because I know we've got a lot of new fans that listen to this. So when a player goes down injured, and they have to receive treatment from a trainer coming onto the pitch to check them over, once that treatment is finished, that player has to leave the field of play. The play will restart and the referee will call that player back on. Mm-hmm. The only players who don't have to leave the field of play are the goalkeepers, because you can't restart a game without a goalkeeper, because that's just unfair.
Yeah.
So when Tunnicliffe went off, we were down to 10 men because he went to have some stitches.
Yeah.
And then Leighton pretty much immediately went down injured, and he stayed down injured for as long as he possibly could. The referee walked over to see, are we getting this move in? He's like, injured, and all this. And then and Sian was worried because she thought he was injured. And I was like, he isn't. All he is doing is he's wasting as much time as possible while we're down to 10 men, so that Jordan Tunnicliffe can come back on and we're not playing against an extra man for too long. Yeah. And then when the trainer went off, Lainton got up, he was walking back towards his goal, he looked towards the Mole Road and he just had a big smile on his face. At the end of the day, it's just one of them. It's like, you know, we're just doing it to make sure that we're not at a disadvantage for too long.
Fair play to him.
And there is actually nothing the referee could do about it, because how do you prove that he hasn't got an injury? Yeah. So it was,
I like that. It made me chuckle.
So the own goal.
Yes.
It's so odd, isn't it? It was
I
odd.
We've watched the replay because obviously we were there. But sometimes, like, there's so many players around the goal, you don't know, you can't actually fully see. So I think what people were saying was that it was an own goal.
It was an own goal.
What's his name? Stephen Arnold. Oh, Howard, as I called him before.
Yeah.
Don't know why. He obviously slipped up and the ball went in.
Yeah.
But people were saying that, I mean, no guesses. Can you guess who was saying this?
Notts County fans. Yeah.
They were saying basically that Mullen punched the ball in, and that's why we got a goal.
Yeah.
But we watched it, and his arm did go up.
Yeah.
But it didn't go anywhere near the ball.
He nudged the keeper's arm, didn't he? And I don't think... I watched it 3 or 4 times, and I was like, I don't see anything happen there. He just dropped it in. But basically, the keeper's gone up, he's caught it. Mullen's jumping to try and header it. Knew he wasn't going to get it. He's just caught his elbow. And as he's caught his elbow, it's sort of done that.
Yeah.
And he's dropped it into his own net.
So they were blaming Mullen for the own goal, but we'll take it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was just one of them odd ones. I said that. Pretty much what I said about Tuesday night came true on Saturday. I said on Tuesday night I would take a horrible little 1-0, an own goal, or a penalty. And as it turned out, that's what happened on Saturday. And I had the feeling, O'Connell had a chance not long after that, where the keeper sort of saved it, sort of hit the post.
No,
and then Elliot Lee sort of followed it up and it was deflected wide.
Yeah.
Apart from that, not a lot happened in the game.
So it's a good job that we got the own goal. Otherwise we would have been walking away there with 1 point.
Yeah.
Not 3.
Yeah, it was just one of them games where you sort of felt like we got to the 90 and then you sort of felt like, I think we could have played for another hour and neither team would have scored. It was just that weird, horrible conditions.
It wasn't the players. It literally was the conditions.
Yeah. So we'll take a 1-0. I'm happy taking a 1-0. That was good for me.
Yeah.
Man of the match was Jordan Tunnicliffe. Which,
the beast.
The beast, well deserved. I would say 100%.
Even when he went off and came back on again, he had his bandage around his head.
Just carried on
headering the balls as much as he could. He was just he's a beast.
The metal exposed under his forehead. From his.
He wasn't getting stitched. He was getting glued.
He wasn't. He was getting welded. That's what he was getting. Just getting welded back together.
That joke was better.
That was better. Oh. Yeah, sorry.
Because they do get glued, don't they?
Glued?
You know, stitches.
Yeah, they do,
yeah.
So.
Anyway.
Oh, never mind. You had a chance, anyway.
I did have a chance.
So, Joe Bruin, Russell Richards, Darren's Happy Place, they all follow us on Twitter. They all agreed with man of the match. They said Jordan Tunnicliffe, well deserved.
Yep.
But yeah, 100%. So we've got 9 games to go.
Yes.
5 home, 4 away. The next 3 games are all Saturday games as well.
Yeah.
So there's the whole well-rested versus too-rested argument going to come out.
Yeah.
Let's see, if we get 9 points from them games, no one's going to be saying, oh, they're too-rested, are they?
You know what? I'm scared.
What, for the running? This is the exciting bit.
Yeah, I don't like it. I wish that we were like way ahead of Notts County, so that these last few games are just like literally a run in the park.
Yeah.
But as it stands, we are only 4 points ahead of them.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't, at the start of the season, I never thought it would be this close. I thought we'd be 10 points clear by Christmas.
You did.
And I made that very public to everybody, and I looked a bit stupid when we got to Christmas and we weren't even top. And then I thought we'd be well away by now. And I thought with 9 games to go, I thought we wouldn't be far off winning it by now, if I'm perfectly honest. But we're in March. We're already on 91 points,
Yep.
which is crazy. So these next 3 league games we've got, next 3 Saturdays, by that 3rd Saturday, we could be on 100 points, which is crazy, I think.
I hope so.
So, yeah, fingers crossed for that. And we've only got one Tuesday game as well for the rest of the season.
Is that home or away?
That's a home one against Yeovil.
Is that the one that's been postponed for some reason?
Yeah, I think it's been rearranged 12 times this season for various reasons. Yeah. But it's, you know, one Tuesday game, which is good, because I think Tuesday games sometimes, you know, you want to be on the training ground, you want to be practicing stuff, and Tuesday games sort of get in the way of that a little bit. Although it's good to have, you know, regular games.
Yeah.
I think when you get towards the end of the season, you know, players are tired and, you know, they start picking up injuries.
But that's where strength and depth comes in, Ryan.
It is. So apart from the one Tuesday game, which is Yeovil on the 18th of April, we've got the only sort of double game week we've got is Easter.
Yeah.
Which
Good
will be
Friday and Easter Monday.
Yes, so that will be I think a season defining weekend.
We've got Halifax on the Friday, and then we've got Notts County on the Monday.
We do. So that's 2 big games. Go and get some points at Halifax, and then depending where we are, I think we'll beat Notts County, if I'm honest.
I hope so. I hope Langstaff gets injured.
Bloody hell.
I know it's harsh, but...
Anything else? Hope one of the other one's cat gets killed or something? No? No.
Yeah, so we are, next Saturday the 18th, we are playing Bromley away.
Yeah. So
I don't think they speak like that.
No, I don't think they do either, because they're in London. So they didn't play Saturday.
Was that because of the snow?
No, I don't think so. They just didn't have a game on Saturday. It's a bit of a weird set of fixtures Saturday. So they play Halifax on Tuesday.
Yes.
They lost 3-0 against York in their last home game.
They did.
They got a man sent off. And that was on the back of a really good 1-1 draw with Notts County as well. So it was a little bit surprising, really. Where are they in the league?
The 10th.
Yes, that's it. They're 10th on 52 points after 36 games.
Yeah.
I think this time...
So they've got a game in hand, haven't they?
Yeah, so they're 10th on 52 points.
Yeah.
Last season, after 36 games, they were 10th on 56 points. And they finished the season 10th. So
they're pretty much
10th,
consistent.
10th, I would say, is their spot.
Yeah. Consistency.
So, top scorers, who are they?
Marriott.
Yes.
He scored 10.
Mm.
But there's actually... Is his name Loftus-Cheek, or is that somebody else?
You're thinking of a Chelsea player.
Can I?
Yeah.
Well, he's just called Cheek.
He's not just called... He's not like a Brazilian, where he's just got one name.
What's his
name? Is like Ronaldo or something. His name...
Clive. Clive Cheek.
No, his name's not Clive Cheek either. It's Michael Cheek.
Michael Cheek.
You should remember Michael Cheek. And do you know why you should remember Michael Cheek?
Nope.
Okay. He scored the winner in the FA Trophy at Wembley. So when they beat us 1-0 at Wembley.
Oh, such a good day.
Yeah, I know. When he was the one who scored the winner.
Oh, you cheek.
You cheeky little sod.
You cheeky little so-and-so.
My God, it's like, children's hour this is descended into.
So yeah, so he scored 9 goals.
Yeah.
So they're pretty close.
Yeah.
So we shall see whether, I'm assuming both of those will play on Saturday.
I don't know. Yeah, probably.
Unless one of their cats dies.
Yeah. We beat them 2-1 in January.
We did.
And the game at Bromley last season ended 0-0.
True.
So fingers crossed for that one. A prediction?
Do you know what? I'm gonna go 2-1.
2-1?
Yep.
What am I gonna do?
I'm gonna do.
Push pineapple. I'll go for... I'm gonna go for 2-0.
2-0. I'm writing it down because we
always forget and we have to scroll back through the video to remember what it is that we said.
So 2-1 for me, 2-0 for you.
Yeah, I would say
Bromley.
so. Yes. Any other news coming out of Wrexham this week? I think we've discussed most of it.
I know, yeah. Honest, BT Sport will be airing the Notts County game on the 10th of April.
Yeah, I'm never a big fan of us being on TV, but
you did say that they were.
Yeah, we never play great on TV.
Yeah, which is a bit scary. Yeah. But the tickets were actually sold in 39 minutes. I'm not sure if that's a record.
No, it won't be. But the reason it took 39 minutes is quite long to sell tickets.
We've sold them in like 10 minutes before, I think, actually.
The reason it was 39 minutes is because they basically use a queuing system. So they'll let so many in, they get to buy their tickets. Once they're done through the checkout and off the website, they bring another load in. So I think that's why it took 39 minutes to sell the tickets, but
Yeah. So, I'm scared for Notts County. I really am.
Yeah. Anyway, Sam Dalby was named in the England C squad.
So was Langstaff as well.
So is Langstaff. Well done, Sam, for that one. That's going to be on the 21st of March. Do we let him go?
No.
No.
Do you think Parky will let him go? Does Sam have a decision in this?
Yeah, he will. If he doesn't want to go,
it's not as if
Phil will go. Yeah, fine, all right.
It's not as if it's the 8th England squad, is it?
No, exactly. Yeah.
So it's like,
I don't know.
So we had an interesting review.
Yeah, we had a new review, didn't we? Of the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, this upset me. And it wasn't even about me.
Made me laugh. It was from someone called SLRNVOS.
Which seems to me, I think this is a made-up review.
KWOC.
Who have you annoyed?
I don't know. And it was a very simple review.
1 star.
It was, the guy is unbearable. 1 star.
See, Ryan thought it was hilarious, and I really took it to heart. I was like,
Sean really took it to heart. I think it's really funny. But for me, if you buy something and it's not up to scratch, you return it and you get your money back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it is. If you get something and it's really, really bad, you try and get your money back, and they sort of, the people who bought it off are a bit, shouldn't really give you your money back. And then eventually they do. That's the point where you go on, you leave a review going, this company are proper dodgy or whatever.
Yeah.
I think it takes a special kind of person to get something for free that you don't have to use if you don't want to. You could just move on with your life. Yep. But to then take the time to leave a review, that's a special type of person.
And it looks like they've made the name up as well.
Yeah, just to make the review.
I reckon it's your ex.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
This guy is unbearable. Well, I can actually categorically say this guy is not unbearable.
I might be to some people.
You're not to me. So that's why it personally got to me, because I know what a sort of person you are. So, whoever you are, just scroll on. Just don't watch us.
It's a win-win now, though, because we never have to hear off that person ever again. If we do hear off that person again, it means they've listened again. So I'm not as unbearable as you think.
Do you know who it could be?
What?
Notts County fan.
Oh, it could be, couldn't it? I didn't think of that. Oh, come on. Let's have more of you. I don't know. Bring it on.
So people who've got in touch regarding Mark Howard when he played because of Leighton being poorly.
Yeah.
Carlo Wilson had put, Howard had a brain cramp, plain and simple. It happens. Doubters need to get over it.
It does. It's one of them. We had a message from Andrea Tannehill. She said, thanks, Sian and Ryan, for another great episode.
No, it's not my name's first.
Yeah. I agree with the other comments made. Mark Howard has done well while Rob was off for a very long time due to injury.
Yeah.
Every human makes mistakes at some point. The draw was disappointing, but as Ryan talked about in this episode, Wrexham has been conceding goals in a number of our recent games.
Yeah.
Not so. Since I said it, they fixed it, so don't worry, Andrea. So we were in the table not just because of that one mistake. We are where we are in the table, not just because of that mistake. Yeah. I also agree that online abuse is never okay. After watching the 4-0 game on Tuesday against Dagenham and Redbridge, maybe that Maidenhead United game gave Wrexham the push they needed to go out and stay engaged for the entire 90 minutes. The team we watched on Tuesday night is the team we know we have, but they haven't been showing up with that quality in every game. True. Hopefully this is the quality our final push will have. I'm excited for these final games. True.
Well, I'm glad you are, Andrew, because I'm not. David Williams, again, got in touch. O'Connor, Cannon and Lee midfield, question mark. You discussed on our last podcast that you thought our midfield was very small.
Yeah.
So David has commented saying, maybe too small for you, but I think our future, which Yeah, you're possibly right.
Is it you, David, who said I'm unbearable? I'm joking. So anyone who wants to get in touch, sorry we haven't read, there's been a lot, but sorry we haven't read them all out, but we talk too much, so we can't fit everybody in. If you want to get in touch, it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, or email me, the wife, and wrexhamafc@gmail.com.
So I'm going to mention Dragon Chat this week.
Off you go, then.
Dragon Chat, we mention it every week. I try to share the posts that they put on to remind everybody. It's a mental health peer support group for men. So it's on every week on Zoom on Thursdays, 7 till 8:30. So basically a football game. So the first half, you talk about your feelings, anything that's happening in your life that you want to talk about. And then the second half is talking about football games that have come up. But obviously it's not exclusively, set like that every week.
No,
it could be,
they intertwine. Sometimes they'll start off, someone might start talking about the football and then that overtakes it a little bit. And then
But that might help somebody though.
Exactly. It's not all about discussing your feelings. It's about just having a chat with somebody and having somebody there to talk to. Maybe you haven't got anyone to talk to. And it's a really good service, so, get on board with that.
The details will be down in the description if you are watching us on YouTube. And if you listen to us on the podcast, then head over to the Wrexham AFC page on Facebook and they'll have all the details. And like I said, we do try to share them on our socials so that they're,
And if you are on YouTube, if you could give us a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, that would be amazing. If you're listening on the podcast, if you could do the same, that would be great because it massively helps us out.
Yes.
Okay.
Quiz time.
Last couple of minutes. We've got time for a quiz for you.
Good, I'm glad. I'd be lost without the quiz of a week.
Yes, I think you know the answer to the first question.
Okay.
I didn't think you would, so I threw it in there. But I think you do. So, we beat Southend on Saturday.
We did.
Thanks to an own goal from their goalkeeper. What was his name?
Oh, Stephen Arnold.
Steve Arnold. Well done.
Steve Arnold.
You mentioned it during the podcast, and I sank a little bit, going, she knows it.
I do.
Question 2.
Yes.
Who was the last Wrexham player to score an own goal?
Jordan Tunnicliffe.
Very well done. Yes, Jordan Tunnicliffe. That was against Aldershot, I believe.
If you say so.
And there was 2 own goals in that game, so well done. What colour shirts did Dagenham play in on Tuesday night?
I want to say purple.
Do you? Why do you think you want to do that?
Because it's right?
Because it's right?
No, it's not, is it?
It's not,
Is it black and white?
No, it's not black and white.
Yellow. White.
Yellow.
Oh, no, we played in white.
How many colours do you want to name?
I don't know.
Okay, it was red.
Oh, that's why we played in white.
Yeah, this is what I've noticed. If I think you're going to get a lot of the questions right, I throw an observational one in. Because you never get it right.
Yeah, I'm not the most observant person.
We have scored 95 goals this season.
We have.
But how many goals have we scored in March so far?
What day are we on?
What day are we on?
4. 8.
8?
No.
Where's the 8? Talk me through it. Talk me through your
4
answer.
Dagenham Redbridge.
Yes.
3 Maidenhead.
Okay. And 1 yesterday.
1 yesterday.
Incorrect. It's 7. It was 2-2 at Maidenhead, not 3-3.
I
And
did say 7, but I didn't.
number 5 is a memory challenge.
Oh, no. Okay.
How many games? It's a 3-parter.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
No, it's a 2-parter, sorry, not a 3-parter.
Okay.
How many games has Parky won as manager?
65.
65, well done. How many has he lost?
14.
Well done. You can have a handshake for that one.
I was going to actually high five you.
Do you know what? Your memory's atrocious.
Why?
No, it is, in general. In life, is what I mean.
I remember dates, though.
You do.
You don't.
I don't. I remember our wedding anniversary.
Wow.
And your birthday.
Wow.
What more can a woman want? Right, well, thank you very much for tuning in again this week. We've enjoyed it, as we always do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye.
Bye.